All right, everybody. This time on Marty's Hot Rod Garage, we finally got that 64 300K in here. We drug it in here, and we're going to be working on it. Those of you that's been following, I think that this 300K was the inspiration for this David Mann painting entitled Jesus Chrysler in one way or the other, but that's my opinion, but everybody's got opinions. But anyhow, this time on this 300, we drug the thing in here. The brakes were locked up on it. We literally had to drag it. Both the leaf springs were broke in the back. The torsion bar was broken in the front. So we got it new leaf springs on it, new torsion bar. We got round wheels on it. So stay tuned and we'll see how everything went. I'm Marty Moore, owner and driver of the Hemi Express Wheel Standard. Welcome to my Hot Rod Garage. All right, she's in here on the lift. We'll start tearing into her. That don't look too good, does it? It's all right, we'll get it. Let's look at the other side over here. It didn't fare much better, did it? We got new springs for it. The frame, the unibody, is not nearly as bad as I thought it would be from where we drug it out of. Those of you that seen that first video will get under, show you the underneath of it. But all right, we're on our way. Keyed axles. We got the new springs to go on it, so. Okay, here you see on these older ones, see there's your keyed axle, see your keyway. Where's my light? See your key in there. All right, on to the other side. Guys, here's something else. I know I'm old, but the other day I was working on something and I told one of the younger guys, go get a thread file, and they said, what? I said, a thread file. They didn't know what I was talking about. So when you're working on stuff like this, I'm by myself, so I'll try to see these threads here. Where I just took that off, that's kind of boogered up. So when you go to put your nut on, it don't want to go on. Here, let me try to get it. Here, this is a thread file. So I don't know if you can see on here, it's marked like the threads, like here, you know, here's 11, 16, 13, 20, 24, 14, 18, 12. So you can see where they're marked right there on the file. So what you want to do is you want to come here, match your threads, which I know this is 16 because the year car it is. So you want to get the 16 And then make sure it matches. See your threads on there? How that file matches the threads there. And then just take your thread file and clean those threads up. You know, after you bead on it. So then, when you go to put your nut back on, I can't film it. See there? She starts right back on. So that, you know, that's just something, it's a good practice, especially when you're working on old stuff. Get a thread file, put it in your toolbox. All right, we got these springs off here. Everything came off really good, a lot better than I thought. I mean, all these bolts are coming out easy. We got the rear end just, ow. Got the rear end just sitting here now. It's free. We'll put new shocks on it. Well, we got it up here. Guys, if there's any question about the structural integrity of this thing, look at this. See that jack stand? Look over here. So this thing is setting, so because this torsion bar, see the torsion bars on this side, and this torsion bar is broke, we got new ones to put in. So this thing is solid enough that it's sitting on that one jack stand. That's kind of amazing. I mean, look at that. Not even touching over here. The rear end is not even, I mean, it's just hanging here. Now it's on this, on the jack. I got the strap under it just so it don't twist out and twist forward and roll off there. But yeah, everything's going good. This thing's a lot more solid under here than I thought it would be. So he's painting the springs. We'll get those on there. And he got a new fuel tank. He got a new fuel tank for it that we're going to put in. This one, I don't know. We might need a new one, you think? All right. All right, boys and girls. It's like Christmas morning. Here's the brand new springs. The owner took these things and painted them. So we got the new stuff ready to go on. New U-bolts. Here are these. Hold this, Ron. Please. See this new, how these new bushings go on. These press right in here. It's just so much better than the old ones. We'll get that bolted on, so we'll have the new shackles on. Got all this painted. We've opted to they send new bolts with this, but see, those are coarse thread, and the factory ones are fine thread. So we cleaned those up, and I think we're going to use those instead. We've got anti-seize on everything, and everything's ready to go back on here. So I can't see nothing under here. This thing, surprisingly, all the bolts and stuff are going right in, no problem. Cheryl made Christmas cookies the other night, Ron.
Yeah?
Oh man, she made some chocolate chip cookies that you would not believe. I'll tell you what, she made a chocolate chip cookie. If you used to take one and set it on the top of your head, that your tongue would beat your face off trying to get to it.
Is that right?
Oh, it was good, I'm telling you.
Were they Christmas cookies?
Well, they were.
Is she letting you eat them already?
Well, she's not big enough really to stop me.
Oh.
So. Okay. Now then, 10-minute shack. Anti-seize on. That anti-seize. See there? See how nice that is? Look at that. And just slide right in there. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
That's too easy.
Oh man. Give me a nut for that, please. Look at that. Yeah. Oh, it's supposed to have another side on the shackle.
Just checking.
Idiot. All right, look at that. It's just that easy, folks. Is that beautiful or what?
You got yours all back together?
I'm going to ask you your opinion. Is there enough clearance between the frame and those nuts?
Oh, here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. See how far in they are? Once he tightens that out, that's going to squish them.
We're going to let this rear end down a little bit, guys, to get a little bit closer on the see it coming down, and you want to make sure that your pins hit the their pins are on there. A little bit to side on down. Okay, Mark, come over here. On this side over here. See, Ron, see the pin here? Can you see the hole there? So we're gonna need something, Mark, to shift that axle. It needs to go back on the side. We don't want to push it off the jack.
I gotta move the axle itself. The bottom
Yeah.
doesn't matter. The top one where it goes in that bracket right there.
Yeah, see right here? Just easy, easy, easy. A little more, a little more. Whoa, right there. Now it needs right there, should go in. Should go in. Let's check this side, Ron. I can't see it. Let me see the light. Should go in.
That one's fit right in.
All right, let's get some U-bolts on this
That one's
side,
set real good.
and then we'll start pulling them. We can pull it up with the U-bolts. Got enough of this aniseed on us to take a bath. All right, here we are on, guys. We want to make sure that our U-bolts are straight up and down here, and then make sure that your pin, your center pin, is in on your rear end, and then even under here. I don't know if you can see right here. Put on under there. There you can see it. Yep. So there it is, guys. New shackles on the back. New bushings, brand new springs. So we got new shocks. We'll put the new shocks on, and then onto the tank, which there's really nothing wrong with this tank.
Well, you could paint it in.
JB weld it.
Yeah. It's a heck of a way to drain the tank though.
All right, guys, now that we got the back end set down, we'll move on to this broke torsion bar. Take that out, and you'll see there's see this little clip in here? All we're wanting to do is pinch that clip. Well, there it came out. You know what they call it? Right there it is. Hey Ron, how'd that feel on your hand?
That was got a lumpy
So
head.
that's all that holds that in.
Serious.
So now we should be able to. There's your rubber. I think it's got to come back through this way.
There it goes.
Right there. There. How'd that work out for us?
Wow.
And this thing, guys, will have a number. These should have numbers on them. And there's also left and rights. What's it look like? CB7, CBT 611. CBT 611. All right, guys, here's a little trick. These new rubbers that go on these torsion bars, that has to go over that. And that is a pain in the butt. So here's a little trick that we learned. Take a little grease, put on that. Then start this on this end. Then we got to get it up over here, which is a pain. Wait. Oh. There we go.
Well, that was easy.
Now we can take this under there, put it on our new torsion bar that we're putting in, and just shove this one. So that saves a lot of time. Just a good practice.
What if you don't have a broken torsion bar?
Well, cut one off or something.
Break one.
Call your buddy.
Break one.
Now here's our other torsion bar. And guys, don't forget on these. See, they got numbers on the end. See, this is 606 here. On this end, these things are marked lefts and rights. See this one here? See, it's got a number here and the R. This is the right one, and this goes to the front of the car.
Odd numbers on one side, even numbers on the other.
Yeah. Show my light up there, Ron.
You want to grease the front of that bar before it goes in?
Yeah, let's put a little grease on it. Mark just likes to get everybody messy with that grease. Okay.
I'm optimistic. I think I'm going to live long enough to have to take that back apart.
Put a little grease on that. Whoop, you know what we almost forgot to do? After I made a big deal about it, was put our,
You didn't put the thing on it.
we didn't put our thing on.
Forgot to put the rubber on.
That was really stupid,
You had
Mark.
it on the broke one.
That was really stupid.
What's the saying in the garage, Marty?
You gotta be tough to be stupid. So this is the way that we want it. There we go. See how that worked?
Cool. That was slick. Put it on the right way.
Yeah, this is the front, right? I can't see now that I got my... Yep, this is the right and that's the front.
Is the corporate logo on the front there? Oh, I can't see it.
See it?
I can't see it.
Yeah, the corporate logo is on the front. So now we'll put it back in. Okay. Now this comes up here against that. We got a little grease on this. So we want this index, we want that thing clocked about. That's too much. One flat. About right there. Let's get our clip back in there.
Yep, it's in there. You'll need your gloves again, Mark. Yeah, you got
hold the
another
lights.
inch.
Give me about the same on this side.
You gotta go half the distance. It's pretty close, ain't it?
Pretty close.
Pretty close. What do you think? That one looks pretty close. We get a tape and measure if you want. What do you think? A little bit more?
That looks pretty close to me. We can
Yeah,
measure the
we're gonna
ride
do a-
height
Yeah,
though.
we'll do a final adjustment.
And then guys, what you do here, after these are in, is you just take your grease, you pack that full of grease there, put your caps back on. These slide up here now. You pack this with grease here, pack this with grease and slide them up on there, and that's it. There's your torsion bars on. All right, on to the next phase. We got this thing setting up on its own now. We got the new torsion bars on the front, got the new leafs on the back. We put those new torsion bars on the front yesterday, and Ron was here. He said, boy, the thing will ride like a Cadillac now. And Mark, the guy that owns the car, he said, boy, I hope not. I hope it rides like a Chrysler. These things back in the day were something. So today we got our gantry crane set up here. We're gonna pull this motor out. Like I say, those of you that's been following on this thing is still locked up. We can't get it freed up. You know, I really can't believe the unibody on this thing, subframe, whatever you want to call it. This thing was like a like the three-legged table. I had the thing jacked up. It looked so weird on the back. It had the broke torsion bar on the front, so we jacked it up and had the rear end just hanging there. And I had a jack stand under the driver's side, and the car was just sitting there level, just on one jack stand. It's like the three-legged table. It looked very strange. So that says a lot about the integrity of the car. So anyhow, as those of you remember, you can see the number here. This was a 440. This is a 440, a 67, a C440 right there is what this is. So we're going to pull this out. I'm not sure what he wants to do with it, because this wasn't the original motor. This would have been a 413. I found a 64 413 block. So if he wants to put that in the car, we can put it back in there, but it's up to him, whatever he wants to do. So anyhow, today we're going to get the motor pulled out of this thing and get it on the stand and see what's ailing it. My buddy Steve from Cross-Threaded Garage called. He's on his way over to give me a hand. I hear something. And I think he was driving his new, there he is. He's driving his new project that he just got done. Steve comes over and helps me a lot with my computer stuff. What's up, Steve?
You gonna pay me for my appearance on your hot rod channel?
Yeah, there'll be a check. There'll be a check. Check your mailbox when you get home.
It's already in the mail, huh? You know, Marty.
Tell me a little bit about this project.
Caitlin and I, my daughter, just finished this last week. It's an 81 GMC, and it was beat to pieces when we got it, so we put this patina paint on it. Had mutual friend Ron do the lettering for us here. So he did all this antique kind of patinaed lettering. So we're trying to find a way to make it stand apart from the rest of the C10s that are for sale in the area.
Yep.
So we're getting ready to sell it. We figured putting a little Indians treatment on it, since everybody here in Cleveland's real excited about the new Guardians name.
Yeah.
We figured that would do it. So.
Well, and anyone from this area would remember 3WE, Catch Indian Fever, Be a Believer.
So that's now radio, was it WTAM 1100 now? That was the old one. 81 was the year they hosted the All-Star game, so we threw the All-Star logo from that year on there.
Turned out pretty nice.
So we lowered the back end 7 inches, and the front we lowered 5 inches. We did cab corners and rockers. Little bit of body work on the bed just to get it straightened up.
Nice.
And then it's got a small block 350, turbo 350 trans. It's nothing special, but it's a rebuilt deal. The previous owner did that.
And you was telling me the other day when I was talking to you, you're happy with this clear coat. You tried the wipe on clear coat.
We tried to wipe on from Vice Grip Garage, and it just turned out like trash. Somebody probably had a good experience with it, but it wrecked the truck. So we had to sand the whole thing down. And this is a Summit hot rod satin from Summit Racing, and it laid out awesome. I think I'm gonna have to touch up a little bit here on the hood. There's a few little, so you can see in the sun, there's a few little thin spots in there, but the rest of the truck laid out even. You get a third coat on the hood, it will be
Looks nice. Looks nice.
Yeah, new mirrors, new bumpers, new trim, new wheels and tires. I mean, those are stock GMC wheels, but we picked those up off Marketplace. Somebody had refurbished them and put some new rubber on them. So
Very nice.
yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Kind of still getting a shakedown drive on it. This is only the second time I've had it on the road this morning. So what do you got in the garage this week?
Well, come on in. I'll show you. This is a 1964 Chrysler 300K. The letter series, see? 300K. And interesting story behind this car.
I've never seen anything like this.
Yep. This week we put new leaf springs on the back, put new torsion bars on the front, pulled the motor out of it. So this car's got a
pulled the motor already. What's it?
Pull the motor.
What does a 300K have in it?
This car should have came with a 413. And the motor we pulled out was a 67 440, which was not the right motor, but
wow.
And I'm not sure what the owner wants to do. I found a 64 413 block for it if he wants to go that route, or we can rebuild the 440 and put back in.
What would you do? 440 is kind of hard to walk away from, isn't it?
It is, but if it was mine, probably what I would do is take the 413 block. It's probably going to have to be bored. I would probably bore the 413 to a 426 and then put 426 pistons in it, and I'd look around for a set of long rams or something, and I would have a 426 wedge motor in it. That would be cool.
That would be hot rod.
That would be hot rod.
So the Chrysler, what did you say this was, a K car?
K series.
K series?
Yep. Yep.
So
the letters,
what was
the letter series? They started in 55 with like a 300B, but the letter series on the Chryslers, they were billed as the world's most powerful luxury cars. So that's, I mean, they went for all the luxury that they could have, but they went with big motors. The old ones had the Hemis in them, and then when they come out with these, they had the 413s in them, and then the 440s, and so.
Man.
I mean, back
it is a luxury car. There's no doubt about that. Look at this.
Yep. Oh yeah, back in the day, these were something.
That clock in the console, the way those gauges are set up, this is like
Yep.
This is fancy.
They were quite the cars.
Now, how did it get in this condition? Because this is,
well,
I'm gonna be nice and say trashed.
the story behind this car is the guy bought it. His dad and his uncle were in California on vacation. They seen the car and got the number, and the guy that owned the car called the guy, said, if I send you some money, he bought the car. Sight unseen.
Sight unseen?
This was like 1983. He bought the car, sent the guy money, and in 1985, so after he bought the car in 85, he got on a plane, him and his wife and his kid brother in Cleveland, Ohio, and flew to California to get this car.
Wow.
They got the car and literally put air in the tires, changed the oil in it, and started Ohio in it.
So he made payments for 2 years to a stranger in California, and still picked up the car.
Still picked up the car.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say if that happened today, you'd be losing all your money.
In 1985. So in 1985, he drove it home to where he lived. He backed it in the
85.
garage, and the car, that's the last time it was ever drove. We pulled it out this summer, which was 37 years later.
That's incredible. This guy's a friend of yours, right?
Yes.
So I don't want to disparage a friend of yours, but I don't understand putting a car in the garage for 40 years.
Well, life happens.
Just forgetting about it.
He had 3 kids, and they got to go to school. Then they got to have braces. Then they got to play sports, and they got to. So
Yeah.
you think, well, I'm going to do this tomorrow, and then that turns into a week, and then turns into a year, and life happens. It happens to all of us.
Wow. Are these the old torsion bars?
No, actually, the old torsion bar broke. He had 2 sets. There's those things are numbered,
Oh.
and there's a heavy duty set in 606 and 607, and then 610s and 611s.
Huh.
And we put the heavier duty set in, so he had an extra set there.
Man. Door's still closed nice. I mean, it's in rough shape, but doesn't seem to be any holes in it. I'm not seeing any rot. Wow, cool.
Another thing that was neat about this car,
Are you a David Mann fan?
I am, and this picture here, when they went to pick this car up.
Is this a 300 in this picture?
Yep, that. I believe that this car is the inspiration for this painting. That's what I believe.
Well, that's pretty bold. claim.
This is called Jesus Chrysler. That's David Mann, and let me tell you a little bit of the history. When they went and got this car, when they picked it up, they was coming back across the desert with it, and Mark looked in his rearview mirror and he seen a motorcycle coming up on him. And anybody that's ever traveled through the desert, it's just miles and miles of nothing. So he seen this bike coming up on him and caught up to him pretty quick. And when it caught up, it didn't pass him. You know, it just kind of hung out there. You know, went to the right side, went to the left side, and pulled up beside him, and they were just checking the car out.
Yeah.
He got a little bit apprehensive because it's like, well, you know, what's going to happen? And the bike was like the bike in that picture. It was
Like
a
a
chopper.
chopper.
It wasn't just a standard bike. It was really nice. And I mean, end of story. Well, it was years later. He said he was sitting in a break room. That was a centerfold in an Easy Rider magazine. And he opens it up, and there's this Chrysler 64 300K going across the desert with the chopper beside it.
Huh.
So I believe, I mean, this is not a cookie cutter. This is not a Camaro or a Mustang that there's thousands of them on the road. This is a pretty odd car.
Yeah.
And so am I saying that was David Mann? Well, maybe not. Maybe David Mann's buddy, or seeing the car and say, man, I got to have one of those. But to me, it's too much of a coincidence from where the car come from, where David Mann lived, the routes that they travel, for this not to be affiliated with that painting.
Wow. That's pretty cool. Really cool. So the motor's out
Motor's out.
Like, I mean, out to a shop, or what do you...
No, I will probably rebuild it when he decides, you know, what he wants to do, one way or the other. All he's got to do is just let me know.
Make a decision time, huh?
Make a decision.
Cool. I like it. You got rid of some stickers from the last time I was here.
Yep.
The old Belvedere. Since the stickers aren't there, what's under the hood?
I don't know. I think it's a 273. It's one of them weird motors. The spark plugs go down in the middle of the valve
That's
covers.
strange. Real strange. I've never seen a powder-coated solenoid like that before. What's that for?
That's
Oh, there's another one back there. That's strange, Marty.
those are
Those are for emissions, huh?
yeah. That's it. Those are emissions. Those are emissions. Those, when these are activated, you have to be very careful. They will put methane gas into the environment. So, usually through the driver.
Right.
Yeah. A little different. Keep following and see how she turns out. Till next time, everybody have a great day.